And here's the latest on the coronavirus in the Wiregrass and across Alabama. Alabama is up to 51 cases of the coronavirus. That does not include any cases from outside of the state that came into Alabama for treatment. Almost half of the cases are in Jefferson County, where 25 people have the virus. Jefferson County includes the Birmingham area. Lee County, home to Auburn, is second with 8, followed by Shelby and Elmore counties with 4. More businesses have announced closings, including Honda. Honda is closing all of their plants in the United States, including the one here in Alabama. There is a case of the coronavirus at a Dothan hospital, and that's the first in this area. The person whose name and gender have not been made public lives in Georgia. Southeast Health tested them, and that patient is in isolation.
So in conjunction with our medical staff, we did make this decision to cancel all the elective procedures and surgeries, and this happens and begins on Friday. This includes all elective surgeries and procedures, but does not affect urgent or emergent type of surgical care or procedures. We have implemented a strict visitation policy. We have announced a stringent healthy-only visitation policy as of today. In most areas, we are only going to allow one visitor that must remain in the room with the patient.
Non-essential departments at Southeast Health will be shut down, however, they will be paid. Simon Properties announced they are temporarily closing all of their properties. Among those properties is a popular spring break shopping destination in Panama City Beach. We're talking about Pier Park. They remain closed until March 29th. The Skywheel Ferris wheel at Pier Park is also closing for a time being. Troy University has temporarily modified its business hours on all campuses and locations. Starting today through April 3rd, the university will operate from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 9 a.m. to noon on Fridays. These changes will not impact services available to students still residing on the Troy campus. Trojan Dining will continue to serve meals, and the University Police Department will continue to provide 24-hour-a-day security and policing. All schools in the Wiregrass are now closed due to the concerns over the coronavirus outbreak, but Geneva County and Dothan City schools have come up with a plan to make sure no one is going hungry over the 2-week break. WTVY's Aaron Wilson tells us about the curbside feeding program.
With coronavirus cases still increasing in the state of Alabama, many schools had to make quick decisions. One of those decisions: how are we going to feed our students?
Well, we know it's really important because on our end, we know that some of our meals sometimes is the only real good meals they get, and we know that parents are at work and cannot fix a meal for them. So if we can provide a meal for them, that helps.
Geneva County and Dothan City schools came up with the curbside feeding programs, where staff and volunteers were posted at different schools handing out breakfast, lunch, and snacks to students in need.
The biggest win will go to the children because we're able to feed them. Even though we may not be in school, we're bringing a bit of school to them in the most important way, and that is through these lunches.
Whether they were on foot, bike, or in a car picking up meals, now students don't have to worry about when they will eat next. But meals were not the only thing the schools provided.
We want to make sure that all children have something to do. We want to make sure that they stay, make sure that they're practicing all their skills, make sure we give them educational packets if they don't have access to Wi-Fi at home. We want to make sure that every child has something that they can practice with while they're out so they can be ready to come back.
But for those who could not pick up meals, volunteers from Kelly Springs Elementary rode around neighborhoods handing them out.
It's kind of hard to tell kids they come and get food when you don't have anybody to come pick it up for you. So just being able to have them to bring it to you, that means so much, especially to my grandkids, you know.
Geneva County and Dothan City schools will continue the curbside program through March 20th. In Dothan, Aaron Wilson, WTVY, your hometown news leader.
After Geneva County and Dothan City schools spring break, the program will resume from March 30th through April 3rd. And we have a list of all the feeding programs on our website, WTVY.com. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey announced she has pushed back the state's primary runoff election until July 14th to avoid the spread of the virus. Alabama is under a state of emergency, which gives the governor the authority to do this. This will affect many races across the state, not only the U.S. Senate contest, but also a congressional seat, district and appellate court seats, and even some state board of education seats. Governor Ivey encourages people to send an absentee ballot in if possible. Daycare centers' attendance numbers are at an all-time low. WTVY's Ashley Brown shows us why some daycare directors chose to shut their doors.
Amid the coronavirus pandemic, the daycare business is experiencing a crisis of its own.
We have been missing half of our kids. A lot of parents are scared, so they've been leaving their kids at home.
Guidelines set by the Alabama Department of Public Health aren't making it any better.
There's no way we could possibly make as many kids as we have to be 6 feet apart, and it's the most important thing for our children is to be safe.
That's why many are shutting their doors.
And if they have nowhere to place their kids, school is out and daycares are closing down, then they can't go to work. So we're going to lose money, and they are too.
I was able to find one daycare center that's deciding to stay open. It was a choice that the director dwelled on for a while.
A lot of our families work in nursing homes. A lot of our families work at the hospital. A lot of them were like, hey, we need you, like if we can't work.
Being there for service provider parents wasn't the only factor in the decision.
We haven't been mandated to close.
Safo says she's following CDC guidelines precisely and even made further safety changes on her own.
Now we're out here getting the kids from their parents, receiving them from the parents, and at the end of the day doing the opposite. So we're limiting the amount of contact and exposure that we have inside the building.
To go the extra mile, Kitty Care now has shorter hours, a stricter sick policy, and has hired a deep cleaning company. In Dothan, I'm Ashley Brown, WTVY, your hometown news leader.
Most centers that have chosen to shut down say they will reopen when school does. The time is 6:09, and looking at the national picture, the Senate voted to pass the House coronavirus aid bill, and the U.S. border with Canada is closing down. The aid bill was passed by a vote of 90-8 and includes provisions for free coronavirus testing, paid emergency leave, food assistance, and unemployment benefits. The Navy hospital ship Comfort is heading to New York City after Governor Andrew Cuomo announced more than 1,300 cases in America's most populous city. According to the Navy, the Comfort would be used to treat patients with other medical needs and freeing bed space in online hospitals for those diagnosed with the potentially deadly virus. Another U.S. Navy ship, the USNS Mercy from San Diego, will also be used to combat the virus. For all the latest developments on the coronavirus, including closings, announcements, and news from around the Wiregrass and the world, visit our website, WTVY.com/coronavirus. All of our stories will be there, with the newest ones at the top. And for a more in-depth look tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time on WRGX, our sister station, NBC News will have a special report on this pandemic. Lester Holt will anchor this special with the coronavirus team, providing crucial, real-time information around what viewers need to know. The 1-hour broadcast will also include expert analysis and health advice. There will also be good news with stories of how people are coming together in this crisis. Again, that's tonight at 9 p.m. Central on WRGX.